Hello YouTube, Blank CD here, and today I'd like to talk about Battlefield 4 class balance. Now, in Battlefield 3, it was always just the assault class, was just good at everything, but in Battlefield 4, I really think that, first of all, carbines are going to be way better. I think PDWs are going to be way more effective, and I think the classes could potentially be really balanced. And there's a few reasons why. First of all, carbines are going to be universal, as well as DMRs, which will be interesting. And then PDWs are going to be engineer specific. Now, in Battlefield 3, all the class-specific weapons generally were just kind of overall better than the PDWs. The PDWs were like kind of good up close, but some assault rifles were still better. And in Battlefield 3, generally balance was sort of, I think they approached it more of just balancing it so everything was fair. And that's where Battlefield 4, they're doing the whole rock paper scissors thing, but I think they're really gonna take it home with the rock paper scissors thing. Like, instead of just balancing everything so it's fair for all the classes, even though in Battlefield 3 it really wasn't, I think they're really focusing on making classes really good at certain things and weak at other things, and especially the weapons, which is why I think they switched the weapons around how they did. Alright, so in Battlefield 4, here's my guess of how the class roles are going to go. So I think they're really giving every class a sort of specific role to play. The assaults are going to, they get the med packs, right? So they're really good at being aggressive and regenerating health and their teammates' health. And then the supports, I think, are also going to be a semi-aggressive class, because, they're going to be able to resupply the ammo and have, the machine gun, so they can just lay down a lot of fire. So I think the assaults and the supports are going to be the real frontliners. And I think most of the assault rifles are going to be really good at long range, but I think they're going to bring down their effectiveness at close range. And I'll go into that a little bit in a bit. So I think the assault class is going to be the class, in Battlefield 3 where you have the standoffs and you're all picking at each other? I think the assault class is going to be the aggressive lineman, and then the support is going to be the more defensive line. Since they have a lot of ammo, it's a little less accurate, but they can suppress people. So I think those two classes are going to work in tandem to form the front line. Then the engineers are going to be a defensive yet aggressive class. So they're going to have the PDWs for close range oh shit situations, but generally I think the engineers are going to be the pilots of vehicles or just the complete tank destroyers. And so they're going to be not necessarily the frontliners, but they're going to be the saboteurs, destroying the vehicles. So where does the recon fit in? Well, right now we have a really, if you want to oversimplify it, kind of like 17th century, infantry line, the supports and assaults making up the heavy line, and then the engineers kind of like the artillery destroying the vehicles and defending themselves. But where do the recons fit in? Because they're getting the sniper rifles along with new 40-time scopes, which are going to be ridiculous. Like, I'm used to my 1-time scopes. I can't even imagine. But so far, looking at the current map design, like Siege of Shanghai and Paracel Storm, the maps don't look that favorable for super long-range sniping. Like Siege of Shanghai, there's a lot of buildings in the way, and Paracel Storm, there's a lot of shrubbery actually on the hills, which I think is really cool, because in Battlefield 3, like in Caspian Border, like when you're running across the hill, you are in the open. But it looks like in Battlefield 4, even when you're in these open areas, it looks like there's going to be a lot of visual cover to hide yourself. So what are the recons going to be good at? I think they're going to be good at the long range thing, but I think carbines being a universal weapon is going to change this game entirely, because when you throw a carbine on a recon, they go from a long range defensive, using their motion sensors defensively, to using them aggressively. And then they're not going to be on the line, they're going to be past the line, behind the enemies, probably using like suppressed weapons, or being the elusive class. And with carbines being universal, I honestly think that carbines are going to be the new, M16s, or the new all-around good weapons. Since they can be at any class, like why would an assault player want to run a carbine if they have an assault rifle? But I think the reason is going to be that assault rifles are going to be really good at range, but I don't think they're going to be as good close up anymore. Now, I don't know exactly how that'll happen, but this is just speculation. So the assault rifles are really good at range, support have a lot of ammo, the engineer is really good up close, and then the snipers are really specific killers, and then carbines can turn any class into the mid-range overall, you know, rounded class. And I think this is going to just change the dynamic in Battlefield 4 entirely. You know, the rock, paper, scissors thing is going to be huge. Rather than just having one OP gun, you know, there might not ever be one OP gun, even though I'm sure there will be. But with classes sort of countering each other, and, you know, with, you know, the new boats and how the vehicles are going to play in, you know, I think Battlefield 4 could potentially just be an amazingly balanced game. And I mean, Battlefield 3 was pretty balanced, but I think Battlefield 4 is going to take the cake. And I think DICE really know what they're doing with this game. I mean, they've been working on it all throughout Battlefield 3, and especially with the new Levolution, and I don't know. I think this game is just going to be amazing. But if you like this video, make sure to like, comment what you think about this in the description. If you'd like to see more, subscribe, and until next time, guys, keep it Kodo.